Hello,
I am Nalesa Esbedelias,
and I am Joyce C. Pialago,
and we are from Central Philippine State University. Our research title about
Research on Cultural and Parenting and Human Development. Introduction. Parenting and child development are shaped by a complex interplay of biological predisposition, cultural norms, and environmental conditions. Two scholars who have significantly advanced this understanding are Mark H. Bornstein, known for his extensive work on parenting, culture, and a developmental niche, and Sigdim Kagitsibasi, recognized for her influential model of family change that bridges Western and non-Western conceptions of autonomy and relatedness. Bornstein stresses that parenting is embedded of cultural structure, Nietzsche that influences what caregivers do and how a children development. Kagitsibasi, on other hand, critiques Western assumption about individualism and emphasizes culturally relevant model of family interdependence. Integrating this framework offers a richest picture of how child rearing is shaped both universal developmental needs and culturally grounded meanings.
methods, research design, cross-cultural, mixed methods, participants, parents, mother and fathers, children or adolescents, and three culturally distinct societies, says urbanization, family structure. Local, Mordining society, traditional collectivistic society, and a Western society. Data collection, observational component, survey component, and interviews. Data analysis, quantitative, qualitative, and integrative. Ethics, obtain informed consent from parents before observing, ensure privacy, cultural sensitivity, and reflexivity.
Results and discussions of two researchers. First, beyond one-size-fits-all models of parenting, Bernstein form versus function distinctions demonstrate that even if parenting behaviors look similar or very different across cultures, their meanings and developmental purpose may not align with Western-centric interpretations. This challenges simplistic cross-cultural comparison that label behaviors good, bad based on only form. Kagitsibasi's autonomous related self challenges that binary view of self that dominates Western psychology, independent self versus interdependent self. Her empirical work shows that in many contexts, individuals integrate both autonomy and relatedness. These integrations has real implication for how parents socialize children and how children understand themselves in relation to others. The second one is cultural change and psychological development. The family change model suggests that modernization does not necessarily westernize family dynamics in a linear way, rather than moving from interdependence. This has a developmental significance. Children develop selves and are self directed but also deeply connected, which may offer advantages in navigating both traditional family structures and modern demands. This also implies that cultural transition urbanization sees rise, do not erase traditional connectedness. Instead, they transform how relatedness is impressed and combined with autonomy.
The parenting practice and policy implications. For interventions, programs, and counseling, the insights from these scholars warn against cultural misreading. For example, what appears to outsiders as controlling parenting in non-Western contexts may actually be part of relationally warm and developmentally adaptive system. In education, mental health, or social policy, acknowledging both autonomy and relatedness as legitimate goals can help design more culturally sensitive programs. Kagatsibasi's work, for instance, has been influential in thinking about early enrichment programs, example Torquay, that respect family values while promoting competence. Immigrant context, her research also helps explain parent-child value mismatches. Example, immigrant parents valuing obedience, host society valuing autonomy, and call for culturally informed approaches support integration without forcing loss of valued family ties. Delimitation and future directions. Measurement challenges. Bernstein himself cautions about the difficulty of ensuring meaning equivalence across cultures. Example that a coded behavior has the same developmental meaning in different cultures. Intracultural variation. Kagatsibach's model points to variation within cultures. Example, urban versus rural, CAS generational. Future research must continue to unpack these gradients rather than treating cultures as homogeneous. Longitudinal and developmental trajectories, more long-term developmental studies are needed to observe how the autonomous related self develops over childhood, adolescence, and adulthood, especially amid rapid social change. Application in policy and practice. This remains a gap between theory and real-world application in many settings: education, mental health, and social services. How can these cross-cultural insights show culturally grounded intervention and parenting support programs?
In conclusion, the integrated framework of Bornstein and Kagetsibasi offers a robust model for understanding parenting within cultural context. Their combined theories highlight that developmental outcome emerge from dynamic interactions between parental behavior, cultural values, and changing sociocultural environments. This synthesis encourages culturally responsible developmental research and challenges assumptions rooted in Western norms, ultimately, and underscore the necessity of viewing families through a culturally inclusive lens.
For recommendation, for researchers, conduct cross-cultural studies using frameworks that integrate micro or parenting behavior and macro sociocultural change perspectives. Avoid deficit models when examining non-Western parenting. For practitioners and educators, develop culturally responsive parenting programs that respect local family values. Train practitioners to understand culturally shaped ethno-theories of child development. For policymakers, support family policies that strengthen both children's autonomy and relational connectedness. Recognize that modernization impacts families differently across cultures.